Welcome Aquarius and Aquarius cross watchers to your reading for today, singles and new love. So we're going to get where you were, where you are, where you're headed, and then from this deck we're going to get the next love interest for Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, and that's all going to be timestamped, in the description box below. So where is Aquarius, or where was Aquarius? Where was Aquarius? So we have Magician. Where are they now? And where are they headed? Okay, so we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed, Empress at the bottom of the deck, and then what's coming up is the Seven of Pentacles and King of Cups. So we're just going to move this over a little bit. Excuse me. Aquarius, it almost feels like you're in limbo. It feels like you're in that energy where it's like you've manifested what you could and you're putting in the work to like maintain and keep those things moving forward, but it's almost like you're in that limbo where nothing much is happening. You're just doing the work. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like maybe you're not seeing a whole lot of progress or movement. And I feel like there may be this, it's almost like you may be feeling a bit disenchanted because you're putting in the work, but you're not seeing that progress. But it's like you're putting in this long base of work so things can kind of start adding up, right? I feel like in the past here with this Magician card, I feel like you are very determined. It feels like there's somebody here that had plans to take something from you. And I feel like they ended up giving it to you instead. It's almost like somebody had plans to like pull the rug out from underneath you or kind of ruin something for you. And that's not at all what happened. It's like that's the opposite of what happened in them doing whatever they did to try to take something from you. I feel like it actually ended up working out in your favor. And it's almost like the gravity of that, of like whatever, you know, if it was a betrayal with this person. So this person, let's say for example, this person tried to do something to, you know, hurt you. But them doing that actually ended up bringing something that was way better. And it's almost like you're sitting here like trying to process the change. If that makes sense. Like trying to, it feels like you may have been in a whirlwind of movement. And now, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Now that that has settled down, it's like you're trying to process it and feel the gravity of it hit you and try to like, not that there's anything that you have to do necessarily or anything that you have to work on feeling. It's like you're just adjusting to a new reality is what it feels like. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles with the King of Cups. I'm going to be honest, Aquarius, we had in the Capricorn read, it was a little bit similar up here. This card and this card was different, but we had the Queen of Cups reversed here and the King of Cups in this position. So if you have strong Capricorn placements, you may want to have a look at that read. Anyway, I feel like you kind of have this renewed sense of purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you're processing here. It feels like things are upside down. You may be in the middle of feeling, I'm sorry if you are, of feeling like this person just took something from you, but you haven't been rewarded for it yet. So if that is the case and you're still in this energy of like, I can't believe that jerk took that. I can't believe that they did that to me. There's a message here that it's like, well, actually, you're going to turn that into something. And it's almost like it's going to take away this person's joy in whatever they did, right? It's like you seem to have such success and you build it in a way that it's almost like you're able to make something out of the mess they threw at you. better than even they know they could. And it's like, even if they took something from you and they're able to kind of stand on that, like, look what I did, I'm so great. It's almost like, oh, if they, I mean, whether they felt justified at the time that they did it or not, I feel like it's a mixed bag depending on your situation. But it's this energy of like, this person seeing you succeed with the garbage pile that they dropped off at your front door makes them realize that, like, not only did you not deserve it, but it's almost like they kind of have to eat some crow or craw, if you will, and kind of admit to themselves that not only are you a better person than they imagined, but it's like it's almost like they don't want to admit to themselves that they know that you handled this much better than they would have been able to. It's like they would have flipped out and had this emotional response, and they would have da 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 da. And it's not that you don't have emotions, okay? It's that you don't like lay them out for everybody to see. And I feel like this person would have had a very different attitude than what you did had the same thing happen to them. And it's like, and they would have sought vengeance. They would have made that person pay. They would have da 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 da. And you were like, okay, bet. And you took what happened and you changed it into something good for yourself. I feel like this person, they seem to have changed something profound in you. It's almost like if you may have looked at the world through a lens that was very optimistic, or like you were optimistic in the sense of being able to acquire non-tangible things. I feel like that's something that has changed for you. It feels like you look at the world a little bit grayer. I feel like there's a certain amount of emotional fulfillment that you want, that you're looking for, but you no longer expect. So we're going to go into next love interest for Aquarius Sun. Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you're going to run into some, so just like the cards were saying that like you turn whatever that garbage heap is into something pretty amazing for yourself, I feel like you end up meeting somebody that's one step further in that process, just a little bit further, right? We have the 7 and 8 of Pentacles here. And I feel like you find them very inspiring. And it's almost like, and in, I want to say like allowing yourself to be open to this connection in whatever capacity it is, or you are, I guess I should say. I feel like you start to see yourself through other people's eyes. And it's not so much that you weren't able to see that. I just feel like it wasn't really something that you were focused on, right? It's like you were focused on building whatever you were building. And I feel like maybe before you meet this person, you may see it as something unremarkable. But when you see this person, I'm going to be honest, I feel like for the first good chunk of you getting to know each other, you're not going to see yourself as the same. You know what I'm saying? It's like you'll have seen what this person went through to get where they are, and they have a ways to go, but they've made more progress than most people will in their lives. And I feel like you may not realize that about yourself until people point it out. You know what I'm saying? Because, for example, if somebody points out how similar you are, you'll be like, oh no, well, this person had to do this and this and this. And then the one you're talking to is like, well, and they're able to draw parallels to what you've done, right? And I feel like it's almost this moment where you start to see yourself as this, as like this kind of magical being that you are, rather than, it almost feels like you may not have even looked at things that way before. And I feel like there is a message. I'm going to, a word of advice. I'm not telling you what to do. There is a message that you may be tempted when you realize what you've done, like in a really good way, like what you've managed to accomplish here. I feel like some of you may stop. You may kind of feel like, wow, yeah, I really did well. And I feel like if you stop for too long, things are going to start passing you by, and there is a possibility of you becoming complacent. And I feel like even me saying that word, it's like some of you are like, that's disgusting, I want to spit. I'm not saying that you will. There just is a chance of that happening. So I feel like the cards are trying to put that on your radar. Not so that, like, of course, take breaks when you need to, Aquarius. But I feel like there's this message here to that when you get into that energy of realizing that you actually already are the people that you admire, like you have those same attributes about you, I feel like there's this message that, like, of course, internalize that good feeling, but I'm going to invite you to evaluate yourself, what you're doing, what you're thinking, in order to make sure that it doesn't halt the progress that you've worked so hard for. Okay. Just going to pull a card on this person here. How does this person, what's going on with them when it comes to Aquarius? We have the World. I feel like this person's going to be a little too focused on work. I feel like they're so, here's the juxtaposition between the two of you, right? It's like they're so laser focused on work that, and like closing out cycles, and they want to get all of this stuff done. It's like they seem to have lost the joy in the journey to get there, right? In their zest, in their, zealous attitude, not in a, negative way, but just in their hurry to get to the finish line, they're not enjoying crafting their life. It's like they want to hurry up and get to where they can enjoy it. And I feel like that may be where that kind of advice was coming in, or that insight was coming in about making sure that you're not halting your progress, right? Because it's like you're going to see that about this person, and I feel like it causes you to look towards what you're doing, and you want to give yourself the appreciation for that. You don't want to make the same mistake. Because I feel like this person, they're so laser focused on their goal that they may sabotage certain things that would actually be really good for them in order to reach the goal. Because it's like, no, I'll get that when I finish this. I'll get that when I finish this. Not realizing that, like, life is this just long ASS journey or process, right? It's just this long push forward. It's not like you can have this and then this and then this. That's not usually how life works. Usually things kind of come and go, and it's this kind of fluid process. And I feel like this person, I'm going to be honest, I feel like you're grateful for the lessons that you get from this person. I'm not seeing that it's going to be long term, and I feel like that's because you don't want it to be long term. And let me flesh that out a little bit. It's like you're grateful for the lesson that this person has taught you, but it almost feels like you look at it like, hold on for a second. Like you don't want to emulate that about this person, how they're so laser focused on work. And I feel like in that, you kind of end up wanting to pull away from this person. It feels like you end up looking at things like you want someone that's going to kind of expand your energy, your mind, what you're doing, rather than someone that's trying to narrow the focus. So for those of you with your moon in Aquarius, we have the Empress. With the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Empress is here twice. So, I feel like there's somebody here, depending on, I almost wanted to say like your station in life, and this Empress person's, which isn't a term I normally use, so please take it with a grain of salt. It's almost like this is, if you listen to the Aquarius Sun, this is the kind of person that you're looking for, especially when compared to the kind of person that is next for Aquarius Sun. I feel like it's someone that seems to embody having a well-balanced life. So just to recap, if you don't want to go back and listen to it, the Aquarius Sun person was someone that has accomplished as much as you've accomplished, but they've gone a little bit further. They're one step ahead, but they're so laser focused on that one goal that they are pushing aside development in other areas of their life to the point that they're no longer enjoying what they're doing. They're just so focused on the goal and pushing forward that they're not enjoying the process of their life. And this person seems to be very different. I feel like, I almost wanted to say they've learned those lessons already, but I feel like they didn't have to. It's just something that's ingrained in them. It's something they've always done. I feel like this is somebody that either, this may not be for everybody. I feel like either they have kids or they want them. And I feel for some of you that may be an immediate deal breaker. And of course, that's fine. You know, you're your own person. You make your own choices. And that's not me giving you, you know, trying to be the person that gives you permission. That's not what you need to want what you want, right? I feel like this person seems to be somebody that, I'm going to be honest, at times may make you feel a bit small because they have so much and you're still in that like development process. I feel like you're further along than you want to admit to yourself. It's almost like going back to that energy of saying that you kind of, this isn't advice in the cards, this is what I'm seeing kind of ending up happening here, is that you don't want to become complacent. So I feel like there's this energy of you, like once you start to achieve one goal, you start to plan the next one in your mind so that as soon as you're done this one, you'd pivot to this one. Or it's like, or you keep an eye out for opportunities. When you're working on goal one, you're keeping your eyes and ears open for opportunities on goal two when you need to pivot. And it seems like this person, they may be somebody that seems like they have, like things just kind of turn in their favor. And I feel like there's this really big message here that actually it's that regardless of what comes at this person, they turn it in their favor. It's like it's almost like they kind of reject anything or even like the notion or the thought process that things aren't working out for them. And that's why it seems to be that they live this kind of like gifted, blessed life when it feels like you've had to work so hard for everything. It's like that's the image that they project because that's what they believe about their life. It doesn't necessarily mean that their life has been easy. I feel like when you meet this person, when you get to know this person, you're going to actually see that they've been through it. It's kind of inspiring, actually. Even like, I mean that for me, I was going to say as a reader, but really as a fellow human, I feel like this person is somebody that has been put through it. But they haven't let it jade them. You know what I mean? It's like they've used that to strengthen their resolve to be like a softer, kinder person, which is, it kind of leaves my jaw on the floor a little bit because that can be so, so difficult to do, especially when you're kind of getting, you know, your ASS handed to you by the world. This person chooses to not participate in that. They don't do that. They don't use their sorrow to, you know, push people away or weaponize it or blah, blah, blah. All of the toxic things that that people can do with that. They don't do that. And I feel like that seems to be where you feel like you don't measure up. I'm going to be honest. It's kind of calling you out, but it is what it is. I feel like that may be where you feel that you haven't quite reached that spot. And I'm going to call you out a little bit on that belief and invite you to reconsider. Because I feel like, again, the image you have of yourself and what you've done is different than what you're projecting to the world. I feel like you may have a more stoic and like reserved, not reserved, but like almost like emotionally tight-lipped. Like it doesn't feel like you're the kind of person that, and kind of going, if you listen to the singles read, the cards were saying, oops, sorry, that you're not the kind of person that's going to make your problem everybody else's problem. That's going to whine and bitch and moan and complain when something bad happens. You turned it into something good for yourself. And isn't that exactly what this person is doing? So what would make you think that you somehow don't measure up if you actually are doing the same thing? It feels like it's this, there's like an opportunity for you to change your perception of yourself to one that is more positive, and not positive in like, you know, with that toxic positivity where you think everything's fine all the time and you think you're perfect. It's, I mean, that's obviously not the problem, right? It feels more that it's like there's this shift in perspective of accepting that you are better than you originally thought. So, for those of you with an Aquarius rising, we have the Three of Pentacles. Excuse me, I feel like there's something really earthy about this person. You have the Page of Wands here, the bottom of the deck. I almost felt this like, I feel like it's someone that may be a bit older. They may be older than you, they may not, but it feels like they have that kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like, it feels like the type of person that even when they're young, they're telling those dad jokes, if you will, you know, the dad jokes. Regardless of this person's gender, okay, I feel like there's somebody that has a lot of fun. I feel like there's somebody that's able to have fun in everyday life. You know what I mean? It's like, even if they have to work hard, even if they have to do something that they don't want to do, they seem to have this certain level of like a playful, joyful attitude. It's like the kind of person that would make jokes, and even if you knew that you had like a long, hard day with lots of work ahead of you, I feel like if this person was there, they'd somehow make it fun. Because that's just who they are. Like, I'm kind of seeing them like grabbing this off the wall and kind of dancing around like a bit of a goofball with it. Like, it's just somebody that brings like light and laughter to the people around them. And it doesn't feel like it's put on. It's like they're doing it because that's who they are. Excuse me. Excuse me. I feel like there's a lot more to this person than meets the eye. I feel like this is the type of person that if that's what they project to the world, they're freaking exhausted. It feels like somebody that, like, yes, that is part of who they are, but I feel like they may struggle, or they may not really know how to get their cup filled. I feel like to a certain extent, it's almost like they don't even know that that other people are allowed to fill their cup. They don't really understand that like reciprocal sort of thing. They always feel like not feel like they are, but like they have to be on. But it's like they know that that's the best way to put good into the world, so they focus on that. But I feel like there's this message of like, you know, please don't mistake that, you know, make no mistake, this person has a hard time with stuff just like everybody else. I feel like they just hide it. And it feels like the type of person that they would like bring that light and laughter energy to people around them, but would cry the whole way home because they're just so overwhelmed. And it may not even be with things in their life, but it's like there's just so much going on internally for them. And you're going to see it in their eyes. You know, sometimes when people are being kind of silly like that, their eyes kind of dance with that laughter. You're going to see something hiding behind them, almost like they're in a cage. And I feel like maybe to a certain extent that's true, that they have caged the real part of themselves that maybe isn't always happy. It's almost the energy of like they feel that they're going to let other people down. Like if they come in and they need support, or they come in and feel like, they need someone to make them laugh, they feel like they're letting people down. It's almost like they see themselves as this kind of like beacon of happiness for people. I feel to a certain extent if they would let that drop, that actually it would kind of like, it would, it's almost like if ever you have heard that giving or allowing other people to help you is a gift. It's a gift to that person, right? Because you're allowing someone else to help you. And in that, like the last time that you helped somebody, what was the feeling that you experienced by being able to do that? By knowing that you made someone's life easier or better. It feels good. And so I feel like this person may be kind of stuck in this rut where they feel like that's just a one-way street. I feel like with you, they're going to see some, I'm going to be honest, I feel like they're going to see some healthy examples of how to like kind of find fulfillment within themselves, and also maybe not give everything away all the time. So between Aquarius and their person here, Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know about this person feels? They need help. Nine of Wands. And not that this person needs you to come in and save them, but I feel like this person just needs permission to not have to be this one all the time. To not have to be that like on perfect energy that's making everyone happy, that's making it light, that's, you know what I mean? It's almost like they kind of need somebody to say like, hey, you don't have to be the only person doing that. It's okay for you to be, it's okay for sometimes you come in and you're not on. And I feel like it's almost like in being around you and observing how you are with people, and that you kind of are, not that you're spilling everything everywhere, because the cards already said that you're not, but it's almost like in seeing you act like a full human with good days and bad days, and good things and bad things happening in their life simultaneously, it almost makes this person look at you and be like, why are they doing that and they get the support and I'm over here and I'm giving everybody everything that they need, but I'm not getting anything back in return. And I feel like in that they kind of understand that they're the problem. You know what I mean? If you never tell anybody that you need help, how are they going to know? So I feel like this person, I'm hearing that like they're going to start with you. It's almost like they might even come up and ask you. They're going to ask you a question that you know is a veiled question about something else, but you humor them and answer the actual question that they've asked in the first place. And it's like, and then you say something that very gently lets them know that you know more than you're letting on about what they're asking. And I feel like some of them may really appreciate feeling seen finally by somebody, and I feel like others of them, it might make them run. I feel for those of them that run, they get kind of hung up on you for a while. And I feel like for others of you that they stay, it actually feels like they might break down in front of you. Like kind of break down emotionally. And it's almost like, and all of this stuff about all this crap that's been going on in their life just kind of seems to spill out of them. And I feel like it's heavy. I feel like it's a heavy load that they have that they've told you about. I feel like it ends up like when you kind of go back to, let's say, for example, you go back to your house and you look at that bag of luggage that you're carrying around. It seems to make you grateful for what you got compared to what they've got. And it doesn't mean that it's, your life is harder, your life is easier or anything like that. It just feels like it may make you feel like you're actually doing better than you thought. So, those of you with your Venus in Aquarius, we have the Hermit here at the bottom of the deck with the Sun. Just move these to the side so we can focus on this one. There we go. I feel like this is somebody that's going to like use extremes to get your attention, right? It's like they're going to be loud and boisterous, but they're going to also try to be really secretive. It's like this person's trying to throw any approach at you to get your attention, not realizing that like if they just sat down and spoke to you like a person instead of trying all this stuff, that would work a lot better in getting your attention than whatever this is. This person seems to feel, they think you like drama. And so at first they're going to try the drama. And when that doesn't work, it's kind of like they might try to be like a bit lighthearted or a bit silly about it. And when that still doesn't get your attention, I feel like then they flip into like this very somber, almost kind of like reserved sort of energy. And I feel like that doesn't really get your attention either. That gets your attention more than the drama. It's like you might actually look up from what you're doing because it feels like that part of them feels it's more appealing to you because it feels more like that's the part of them that you can connect to. It feels, I'm going to be honest, I'm not trying to be unkind to this person, but it feels like they're all over the map. I feel like they may be, it's almost like, it feels like the type of energy of somebody that hasn't found themselves yet. And it's almost like, so when they go for somebody, it's like their approach to that person is all over the map because they don't know who they are. You know what I mean? Oops, sorry, didn't mean to move the camera there. What's really going on with this person? I feel like to a certain extent, this person expects things to fall apart. It's like they have this like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde sort of thing. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, there's the Empress again at the bottom of the deck. I feel like sometimes it's like they present this celebratory, fiery energy to the world. But I feel like their emotions control them. And in that, because their emotions can sway them so easily, or not so easily, I'm not trying to be diminutive, but because their emotions control how they feel and their actions, right? It's like sometimes when you feel an emotion, and this is how I'm understanding it, so please take it as it resonates. Sometimes if I'm feeling something, I have to talk to myself and be like, is it reasonable that I'm feeling that way? Or am I feeling that way because I'm been triggered into something else? And sometimes that's it, you know, like I'm feeling a certain type of way about a situation, not because it's about that situation, but because I'm being sent back to something else. And then I have to like talk myself out of it. For example, sometimes after I have a discussion with somebody, I'll get in the car and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that or I did that. And I have to kind of walk back through and be like, actually, you know what? I didn't say anything that I need to feel that way about. That's just kind of my own stuff talking at me. And so I'm able to kind of talk myself out of feeling something that is unwarranted. And I feel like this person doesn't realize that that's something that you can do. It's like they haven't developed any emotional regulation. It's almost like they just don't even know that it's out there, that that's something that you do. And I feel like they're going to look at you wondering, like, how the does Aquarius seem to be, because you present like you're on this even keel all the time. And nobody is, right? But you certainly present that way because you have a good handle on it. And I feel like this person is over here looking at you like, the sun rises and sets with you. And I'm going to be honest, I feel like this person really wants to get with you. But I feel like their insecurity makes them feel like, why would you even want them? So I think I'll leave it there, Aquarius. Hold on for a sec. This person has something in their past. I'm just really quick. I feel like they have something in their past that they're really ashamed of, that they don't like to think about, that they try to push away, that they feel will change how other people see them. And it's almost like they look at it as a weakness, that it says something bad about them, but the fact that they lived through it, actually, it's like it's mind-boggling to you that they don't see it as something that it's incredible that they came back from, rather than it's something that people are going to judge them for. So with that said, I will leave it there, Aquarius. If this reading resonated, I hope it was helpful. And if you liked the reading, please like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.